Well, here it is, the finished product. It took all summer long to finish this. The roof didn't take that long, but the final finish work did. The plumbing, getting everything plumbed in, all the electrical work, getting the laundry all complete inside, getting the lumber all finished. And it's a very simple, basic building, single pitch roof. I did use a lot of hurricane straps in the building. This building only cost about maybe $6,000–7,000, but by the time I got all the septic and electric and water and everything, it came up to about $22,000. And you see that little walkway there. I'll close the door. You see the blinds in the door, and that's a second-hand door. That door cost me, I don't know, $50. It's cheap. But you see, I built a little bridge between the deck and the RV. That's a permanent bridge. Now it can be easily removed. It was screwed on there, but this was created for a full-time RV living. It's not a place you back into for a weekend. So, and I designed this building especially for this fifth wheel, which there's plenty of clearance, as you can see. That vent has probably another 8 or 10 inches of clearance, but beneath that beam. So, and the length of the RV was designed just for this building. The RV is completely covered under roof, and you see how I used antique windows at the end of the porch, just, I don't know, just to have some use for the windows, because I had them laying in my shop, and I decided I'll put them here because there's a neighbor right through this little narrow patch of woods over there, and I figured if they have noise or sound in here, then the windows kind of help to reduce the sound transfer from one property to another. And here's what I put some film on these windows just to give them a little accent. So when in the evening, when the sun is setting, the sun hits those and they light up with a little colorful accent. This is a big porch. It goes about 14 feet out. It's about a 14 by 16 porch. It's a nice size. And you see the window right there, and there's already a TV in it, but the TV's turned backwards. She doesn't have it hooked up yet. But I put that window in there expressly to put a TV on the other side of it in the laundry room, and then you can watch TV on the porch. Let's go see what the inside of the laundry room looks like. You see I put this floor down here because it goes from deck that has open gaps between the boards to a solid floor. Well, I put that down because sometime during the building process I changed my mind about the width of this entryway, but I did not move the water heater over to match the walls of the laundry. So I'll show you that in a minute, because the water heater is underneath the floor, so we'll do that when I'm out there on the ground. But I put the solid floor in here so that if somebody washes off the deck, they wouldn't run water directly on top of the water heater. Well, here's the laundry room. It's a little auxiliary room that's built on the corner of the porch. It helps to create this entry you see here. And then right off the entry is this laundry room. Now, the thing that I had in mind the entire time that I was building this is it'd be very easy when the RV is pulled out of here, very easy to continue the floor over and turn this into a cabin. And where the RV sits, you'd have a bedroom, bathroom, small kitchen, and living room. I'm going to take it back up to the ceiling. The ceiling, what I did with that, I took blue paint, a little bit of blue paint in a coffee can, and put some water in it, and then I painted on the wood real heavy, then wiped it off with a damp rag to give it that blue wash look. And then I did the same thing with the white, and the white took about 2 or 3 passes to get it to look really white, because one pass the yellow wood was showing through too much and I wanted it to look more white, so it took about 3 times. But you see here the shelf where the TV sits, and it's just a very simple shelf with a simple brace underneath. And you see these boards. The boards were all free, by the way. I didn't pay for any of them. They came from a scrap project somewhere. And I added a little color, you know, the blue and white gives it a little color and makes it look a little more, I don't know, lighthearted, more fun. It's not a heavy, serious color. Anyway, nice big porch. And you see where the RV is. Very simple. Pull out the RV and just continue the floor right on across, and insulate the ceiling. Maybe put, you know, do whatever you want to up there, and put walls in. You got a cabin, and then you got this big giant porch off your cabin here. Let's go back outside and take a tour around the place. You see I started the landscaping out there. You got a parking space to the right, then the circle driveway comes in, and you got your walkway leading to the steps. And I put those rock in there to retain the walkway, because this property is on a slope. And you see how the boards are put together around the post. They're roughly notched just to give a little more finish, and they're also notched around this batten piece here. Okay, let's take a walk around. I want to show you the outside. And you see how this side is high off the ground. And I did that on purpose because this is out in the country, and to keep critters off the porch, you want to have it higher off the ground. Otherwise, you're going to have skunk and armadillo and all that walking around the porch all night, and you're going to hear those sounds, and you're going to wonder what's on your porch. It'll wake you up in the middle of the night. You look at the end of the laundry, and you see here where I cut those vents up in the soffit. It's just a very simple soffit, just a board up there. And I cut a couple of slots in there, and I put screening material on the other side of on the top side of that board. And I want to take you around here and show you where this water heater box is. You see how the water heater box is offset from what would be the laundry wall, and it kind of half of it is underneath the porch. Well, you'll see that water heater box opened up in other parts of this video. And you see how the box is under there. And this gray pipe is electrical conduit going up into the laundry room, and then you see the white pipe is the washing machine drain. And you see how they go out that way, and the white pipe goes down into connects with the sewer line, and the gray pipe goes on to the box. And I put braces underneath in the middle of the porch beams, just to give it more of a solid feel when you walk on it, because you don't want harmonic vibrations when you walk on a wood surface. It makes it feel cheap and like it's not stable. So you want to get it all supported and everything feeling solid, and then you can walk around on it and nobody thinks about the structure being weak. They just think about the view and enjoying the porch. It's very simple to build. You just put the posts up, and you put the beams up, and then you put those joists in between the beams, and I show all that in the video. And here's the electrical box. Let me see if I can get that opened up. Kind of hard to do. Oh, I think somebody else has had this open because it wasn't completely closed. So you see here I've got water heater, dryer, utility room, and here's the RV plug for 30 amp. And then the septic system. But this goes to the RV. And this 110 is an extra outlet that I put inside the RV, or I had somebody else do it, put inside the RV for the purpose of running a space heater in the RV. So you can run an infrared heater inside the RV and it doesn't affect the other circuits. That's what I did before. Okay, now it's locked. Closed. And you see how these go pipes go in the ground. Where do they go? This one goes to the laundry room. This is laundry room. This one goes to the septic system, and this one comes in from the street. And then they dug the trench out that way, and the pole is way out there, but all the electric in here is underground. And the water, and you see how I propped up the sewer pipe. I just put it on boards and put some zip ties on it, and to keep it level so it comes out. It doesn't have any valleys for solids to fill in there. And you see here by the blocks on the ground, the RV can actually sit a little bit lower if it needs to. Of course, you can't sit too much lower because the door won't open on the deck. The RV has to be a certain height for the door to open properly. Okay, here's that electric line, that extra outlet that I put in inside the RV. And here's the gas line that comes in from that tank. And I guess this other line here is a line that goes to the portable tanks that were built into the RV that they're not using. And here you see on the ground are hot and cold pipes that are tied into a well inside the ground. And then of course I put this diagonal brace right here to make the building more wind resistant. And then of course that laundry room, built the way it is, makes it real solid on that corner. And then there's cross braces going down this line at the top for additional wind protection. And you see those cross braces don't interfere with the function of the RV. When the slide outs are in, the RV can go in and out of there, and it's not even work near those braces. And then of course the rollouts can come on out, and there's still plenty of clearance. It wouldn't be very much fun to build a building like this and get it all done and then realize that your RV won't fit in there. So take the care to figure out what your RV needs and give it a little bit extra. Now this building, I'll give you some measurements in another video because I can't remember exactly, but my videos are showing how to build it, describe all the measurements and everything. And this building is a little more narrow than is recommended. I think 18 feet is a recommended width for RV building, so that, and the purpose of that is so that when the rollouts are out, then you have lots of room to walk around, even with the rollouts out. But since I planned this for full-time living, I wanted it a little tighter, and also by making it as narrow as possible, it makes it easier to build. So, well, here's the view that they get with this, and I had this this building rented before I finished it, and of course I sold that RV with owner financing, and they're renting the space separately. And I personally never used that RV. I bought it for the sole purpose of using it at this location in this building. But this building will work with other fifth wheel RVs. However, the floor is too high for motorhomes and travel trailers, because travel trailers entrances are not as high off the ground as fifth wheel entrances. So this is strictly a fifth wheel building. This, if you put a motorhome or a travel trailer in here, then the door would be well below the level of that deck. So you want to keep that in mind. If you want to make your building multi-purpose, then you'll have to plan so that when people step out of the RV, then they step down normally like they would, you know, if they're stepping onto the ground. And then you got to have the height for where the RV goes, so you got the head clearance, but then you got to have the deck out here at a low enough level so that it's universal for all styles of RVs. But this one is strictly for fifth wheel. And that's okay with me, because when this fifth wheel is pulled out of here, I'm going to take that floor right on across and turn this into a cabin. It'll be very quick and easy to do, because as far as I'm concerned, those 4x4s are a good enough foundation. And this is out in the country. We don't have code that requires anything else. So that's what I'll do. And then later on, if there's a problem with the 4x4s rotting or something, then I can go along and actually hand dig a footing around and pour it and come up from that. And that could be like, 20, 30 years from now. And since I'm 65, I don't think I'll have to worry about it. So I think this building will do just fine for the long term. I have other buildings that are already 10 years old, and they're showing no sign of rot or weakness, and holding up very well. So you see how the driveway comes in and just makes a nice little circle and goes right on around. And there's the 1847 house. I have another video of that. And over there is some previous boat storage building I have cars in. You see the circle driveway just goes right on around and out. All right, hope you enjoy the video, and good luck with your project and your design.